All right. Hi, everybody. This is Joy Packard streaming from Los Angeles with Bryan Bowman. We're so excited that he has taken the time to come on here to share with you. And we are, of course, around the corner for our SimplezonSeller conference. It's April the 4th through the 6th. And we have some amazing speakers. You know, we had them last year. We have amazing speakers this year. And I am just so honored, honestly, if you guys look at the lineup of speakers. You know, one of them today will be interviewing, and you guys are going to be blown away by who he is, what he's done. You know, I met him last year at what's called the Goat Farm Mastermind at Dana Derrick.
That's right.
Mastermind. And it was awesome. I mean, I met some of the coolest people, and to this very day, still keep in contact with each and every one of them. And they have become some of the most, I admire every single one of them there. I am honored to be, I was honored to be at the Go Farm Mastermind, and then whenever I found out even more about who they were and are, I am just like blown away that, you ask them to do something and then they're there for you. And so that's the kind of people that are here. And Bryan Bowman is, we're going to be talking about his Facebook group and the things, but if you don't know who he is, you guys need to follow him when he puts his Facebook group name up. You need to go to his group because you are crazy if you don't. I mean, he gives away all this free content that he should be charging, $1,000. So Bryan, thank you so much for being on here. And we want everybody to get to know a little bit about your background, who you are. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So Joy, thank you for having me on. And man, that's awesome introduction. I appreciate it so much. And I actually totally forgot that it was Dana's event. Like, I mean, it just feels like, I feel like we've now known each other for a while, and our paths, obviously online, our paths cross all the time, yeah. But we're always messaging and stuff. But even live events, I feel like we see each other like at different events and stuff. So I'm really excited to be at your event and just hopefully serving your audience and giving them some real actionable stuff. I think that there's a lot of, we could talk about this, but what I always like to frame things is in terms of the principle, the strategy, and the tactics. I think a lot of times we focus so much on the tactics, and then when we try the tactics, they don't work maybe, or they don't, we don't get the result we want. But a lot of times it's just that maybe it wasn't the right strategy, or maybe we just got the principle wrong. So that's kind of what I'm going to share at the event is just, and I'll talk more specifically about kind of what I specialize in, like my expertise. But ultimately, at the end of the day, no matter what you're doing, building your brand, selling on Amazon, selling off Amazon, building a funnel, building your Shopify store, running Facebook ads, like whatever you're doing in your business, always think about sort of why are you doing it? Who are you serving? When you identify that, then the strategy becomes clear. And then the tactics is, the clicking the buttons and writing the copy or whatever. But a lot of times the bottom, like why things kind of don't work, it's like the top thing. So that's some of the things I'll be sharing. But my background, man, it's crazy. It's crazy always to talk about this because it's been such a whirlwind. So, I mean, I won't go all the way back to the beginning. It's getting further and further away the beginning. But yeah, I mean, when I got out of high school, I started a business. I actually started a brick and mortar business doing document management, which is like, what is that? So I used to actually manage documents for these medical billing companies and stuff, and did well. It was a good business, but I actually sold it, played professional golf for 4 years. Then got injured and couldn't do that anymore. So went back to school, got my degree, and I did what I thought I was supposed to do, right? It's, I was done doing what I wanted to do, and now I was going to do what I was supposed to do and get a job and do the responsible thing. And that lasted for a few years. I was an actuary. If your audience, I don't know if you guys are watching and you don't know what that is. No, I did not work with birds. I've gotten that one before. An actuary is like somebody who just basically assesses risk and uses a lot of data to like make decisions about like the future and like what should we do today based on what we think we can predict about the future. So I did that. I loved the work in terms of like the challenge of it, but man, it was really hard work, and I just was not happy. Like I remember being in like traveling, I was flying like 150,000 miles a year. It was crazy, just consulting. And I remember just being in a hotel room, it was 2 a.m. I was working, and I'm like, this can't be it. Like I can't just do this for 40 years. And that's really what then sparked that entrepreneurial side again, discovered, selling online, FBA, burning the candle at both ends, like working the consulting job, coming home 8 p.m. to 2 a.m., 3 a.m., like on the phone with suppliers, doing Skypes with, them holding up samples. And it was craziness. Yeah. And then that's how I got immersed into this e-commerce world. It's been over 5 years already. And now, just coaching and consulting sellers and helping them, diversify their business so that they can actually build out a brand.
Wow. After here, I think I know you. And I learned from your little bio there that, wow, there's so many things that you've done that I didn't know. But one thing I loved hearing in there was, that because, I think about like my own life, and I think about other people who come to me and say, this is what I think I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to do that. And one thing that I love about what you said, and I'm sure people who are going to be watching this, it will make them think as well, because, everybody can do what we're doing, what you and I do, online entrepreneurs, what we're doing. It's out there for all of us to grab. And one thing that I loved hearing you say is, you had one day that you just basically said, okay, I'm doing this and I'm sure it made good money, but you're like, but is this really what I want to do my whole life? And so I think that once you realize that that's not really where you want to be, then your path goes a different direction, and then you start going that direction. And one thing that I
100%.
love about being, an online entrepreneur is that, look, I'm in Los Angeles right now. I'm waiting on my kids to get back from golfing, and we're going to, do Hollywood and Los Angeles again. But I'm just saying, like, it just gives you the time and freedom to do what you want, instead of feeling like I have to be at this job from 9 to 5 or do shift work or whatever it is. And so I love what you said about you're basically able to, right? You're able to do what you want to do when you want it. I mean, it sounds like you're able to, stay at home with your wife, go places with your wife, do whatever. And so I loved hearing that.
Yeah. So, I'll tell you one thing. This is probably totally off track. This is not, doesn't have to do with selling more, doodads online, but right. I will tell you, the sooner you can get comfortable with uncertainty, the faster things start happening, because that becomes a superpower. And please listen to me on this, because I've been through a lot of pain to find this power on the other side. I'm talking not just pain, some supplier screws me out of $3,000, or I, spent $5,000 on ads and it didn't convert. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about real pain in life to figure out this power on the other side. The sooner you can embrace uncertainty, you become invincible, because that is the kryptonite for everybody. Everyone is uncertain, and that's why they don't make decisions. And the sooner you can embrace it and go, you know what? I am not sure if this is going to work out, but I'm going to make a decision and I'm going to run in a direction. And when I get to the end of that road, then I can decide if I'm going to run in that direction. That's the secret that all the entrepreneurs have, that it's not about motivation. It's not about a quote. It is that they've become comfortable embracing uncertainty, making a decision, and going. And that's it.
Absolutely. And you see, guys, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is an unusual event, and that the fact that, yes, we talk Amazon, we talk e-commerce, we talk about all these things, but it also, I love the people that I guess that I'm attracted to as far as like what they do. And as you see, Bryan is very into mindset. And that's one thing that I love. And you guys are able to get a piece of this just in this short little interview of who he is. And I mean, I loved hearing that, because it's so true. And that, again, I can apply that in my own life. And I'm sure many who are listening to this, or who will be listening to this on the replay, can also relate to that. And that's exactly how it is with me too. And it's that uncertainty that you talk about. And so I love that. So you went on this path, and now you're on this journey. And I'm sure that, I guess you can tell them, like, how you got started with your e-commerce world, and let us know your Facebook group. And while you're talking, I'm going to post the name of it here in the comments so that people can find you.
Yeah. So, the big thing for me, I sold private label. Like, we did well. We did very well. Like, we were able to build a 7-figure brand, and it was awesome. Until it all got shut down on Amazon, just black hat stuff. You're in competitive categories. Absolutely. I think, they're doing a good job to try to clean up the marketplace, but for us, whatever, whatever happens, it happens. And it really, at the time, it was super scary, because I quit my job, a job where I was making really good money. And now like everything stopped because I had no way to really make sales. I didn't have a customer list. So that's really what initially made me realize, like, dang, Amazon's amazing, but I have to diversify. I have to start building up a customer list so I can do both. Like we've had definitely, we have a program called Ecom Intensive. It's like an accelerator for Amazon sellers especially, but anyone who wants to really build their brand quickly by just following, we call it the Ecom Vital Few, the things that actually move the needle, not all the shiny objects. Like say no to everything. The difference between successful and very successful people, this is Warren Buffett, not me, is very successful people say no to almost everything. And it's so they can relentlessly say yes to the things that actually matter. So we really preach this essentialism and focusing on the right things. But it took me a lot of time to figure out what are those right things? What are those core things that you have to relentlessly pursue and say yes to? And that's how it scales a business. So that's what we focus on in the intensive. But I realized, like, we've had guys who they're doing, 30, 40, 50K on Amazon, and we've been able to get 30, 40, 50K off Amazon too. So it's not an either or, but it was where I really had that, like, oh my gosh, you have to have both. And you can't depend on any platform. I'm not even saying you could do it all on Facebook. Like Facebook, what happened yesterday? Like it just, Absolutely. Who knows what happened, right? So
pretty freaking out. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what the heck happened. So you don't want it to be all on Facebook either, right? You need, it's email, it's phone, it's mailing addresses, it's building an audience on other platforms. But you have to start somewhere and then chip away and start growing it. So
absolutely. And I mean, I love what you just said, because that's what SimplezonSeller is all about. We talk a lot about, diversification, because we're not trying to like take you away from focus, but we're trying to tell you that it's, not good to put all your eggs in one basket. Like Bryan said yesterday, Facebook, Instagram, because they're connected, it wasn't working. And so people were kind of freaking out, because this is how a lot of people run their businesses. So what you have to do, and what we preach all day long and talk about, is diversification. And so I loved hearing that, Bryan, when you said, yes, I'm still doing this, or, you can still do your Amazon thing. You don't have to say either or. You don't have to say, well, I can't do this because I'm doing this. No, you can still, build your brand, build it off Amazon, which I'm all for. I do sell on Amazon. I do love that. But I have found myself over the last year and a half going to different platforms, because it's just like anything, it's like, if this goes down, I still have this, And
what's really interesting, Joyce, there's a few developments that are happening. So one thing to keep in mind is when you start marketing off Amazon and you are building an audience. So these four pillars, and I'm going to talk about this in detail at the event, and I'm going to break down. I actually have a full case study, like showing you all the numbers, the actual conversion rates, the benchmarks, the metrics, what we did, the ads. So I'm going to break all of this down. So at the event, like, people will know, because one thing is conceptually to talk about it. Another thing is to see like a detailed example.
Absolutely.
So it'll actually be like actionable steps, like take the notes, take the, right. Like, the slides come up, you take the shots, take the screenshots, and like apply. But the four pillars, the Ecom Vital Few, are build an audience, have a system, not firing from the hip, sending an email sometimes and hopefully they buy, have a system to convert this audience into buyers, have a system to maximize average order value, and have a system to maximize frequency of purchase. If you do that, you will absolutely grow your business. There's just no way around it. These are the things that move the needle. And I'll be talking about that in depth at the event. But yeah, it's like, I think that there's, ecomunderground.com/joy. We got to talk about this, because I got something really good for you guys. So in any case, I'll be breaking that out at the event, but just focus on those things, because it gives you like a litmus test to say no to all the noise. There's so much noise, my goodness. Absolutely. And most of it is just, you cannot overestimate the unimportance of virtually everything. Like, absolutely. there's a few things to focus on, and I promise you, in your business, if you focus on these things, build an audience. It's never been easier. It is never in the history of like mankind. This is an amazing time to have a business. It's never been easier to build an audience. focus on converting them, focus on increasing the average order value, focus on getting them to come back. Like Jean-Paul DeJouriel says, you are not in the product business, you are in the reorder business. And that took him from like living in his car at 35 to being a billionaire and starting Paul Mitchell products. So
that's awesome. And as you guys can see, I love how simplistic that sounds. And, I can't wait to get to the event and have them break that down for you guys, because, when you see it and you get to hear it from somebody who does it, it's like when you see somebody, I don't know, I've just been so into the confidence of knowing when you see other people who are doing what you want to be doing and you see that they're successful at it, we can as well. And I know that that's just been such a big thing that I've been kind of, teaching and focusing on, and knowing that, because there's a lot of people that come to the conference or come online and they say, hey, Joy, I just don't know if I can do it. And, you can see Bryan and where he's come from and what he's done and what he's going to teach. And so, yes, basically we're having an event, as you guys know. That's where, this is the link that, you can get your tickets at. There's not very many left. We have 100 seats. We're not getting a bigger venue. I know people say, please get a bigger venue. We're not. We like to keep this event intimate so that we get to rub shoulders with our speakers and with the attendees that come. One thing that's really cool this year that we did not do last year is what we have VIP sessions, to where, if you see a speaker, like even right now on this live interview, or you see them at the event and you say, man, I really love what Bryan's talking about, or what Perry's talking about, or what, Chris or any of them are talking about, you are able to book a live session with them, whether it's 20 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, whether individual or in a group of 4 or 5 people. And it's going to be awesome. And if you can't do it at the event, you will be able to do it after the event. After the event is over, you'll be able to connect with them. So you heard what Bryan's going to be talking about. And I don't know if you want to say anything else about that, Bryan. We have just a few more minutes, maybe. More minutes.
Yeah, for sure. So, and I remembered there was a couple things I didn't mention that to keep in mind. There's been some new developments. So one thing we see every single time, and this is what I'll be talking about, is the halo effect that happens when you start making noise outside Amazon. Amazon starts to go up. We've seen it every single time, because there's just some people that while you're building your brand and that's going up, they're just going to go to Amazon. They like their Prime. They like that. So there's this halo effect. And there's also this development with Amazon now really focusing on brands. There is a lot of rumors going on that they're going to really start prioritizing brands that are selling on Amazon, because they need to clear the clutter, right? There's just a lot of not good brands, not even brands, people just getting on there. It's not good product. They're going to start prioritizing the businesses, the actual businesses that have brands established off the platform, because that's going to lend more credibility to them. So there's a lot of reason for you to be thinking about this. This is what I'm going to be talking about at the event. We have tons of case studies, tons of data, like real hard data that we can show you that you can apply. So go to ecomunderground.com/joy and register for the event. So here's what I'm going to do. I talked to Joy, and I don't know if I told her this, but I'm just going to go ahead and do this because I know that if you go to the event, you're going to get tons of ideas and you're going to be able to move your business forward. But there's going to be one critical part, which is the tailoring it to, like, what about my product? What about my business? And what I want to do is, if you go to ecomunderground.com/joy and sign up, and if you get the deluxe or the platinum package, and I don't know if there's even these seats left because there's special seating. I think it's priority seating. You get front row, you get priority access. So Joy can let us know if there are seats available. But if you get the deluxe or platinum, I'm also, and we'll get it sorted out that you signed up through ecomunderground.com/joy. I'm also going to give you an hour of my time.
Wow.
And it's not just going to be an hour of, like me asking about your business. This is going to be us strategizing. Okay, I'm going to talk about these things, but then we're going to talk specifically for your product. Lay out an actual plan. How can you use outside traffic to boost your rankings on Amazon? There's proven strategies that we use to do this. What are the steps, the exact steps you should take to start building out your brand off Amazon? Where should you start? Should you start with a funnel? Should you use Shopify? What are the apps? What are the plugins? What's the process? Where are the leaks in the system? So, like, I've done this a lot of times. I can look at your brand, and in an hour, we can lay out a plan. So I'm going to offer that. Normally, booking an hour with me, it's $500 for 1 hour. I'm going to include that if you go to ecomunderground.com/joy and sign up. It has to be a deluxe or a platinum package. If those are available, Joy, you can let us know if they are. And I would love to do this because I know that this tailoring, this is the thing that's going to make the difference. You're going to be 80% of the way there from the knowledge, and this little tweak, you might be 90% of the way there, but that 10% is where we're going to really adjust it for your business. And I just want to do everything I can to just help you guys, implement this and succeed.
Wow. Guys, I when I have my speakers come on to these live interviews, I don't know sometimes what they're going to offer. I did not know that Bryan was going to be doing that. I am blown away. I want to buy my own ticket so I can get an hour to talk to Bryan. That's amazing. Again, I don't know, like I say, if you go and look up Bryan, you'll look at his group. Is it called Ecom Underground, the Facebook group? I'm assuming.
So, marketing for e-commerce. So we're really focused. Yeah, and there's a podcast. There's a podcast as well.
What's your podcast name?
Marketing for e-commerce.
Okay. Oh my goodness, you guys need to listen to. He just gives away so much value. It blows me away. I listen to him and I'm like, I've listened to his episodes and I go into his group. And I see the content that he gives away where other people are charging thousands and thousands of dollars. And here he is, like, all you got to do is buy, a deluxe or up package, which is usually, I think you can look on the page at the packages. And yes, there are a few spots available because we're keeping those kind of small as well. But he's giving you an hour of his time. Guys, just for that alone, I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah. So, I mean, essentially, if you look at it, guys, I mean, just being real, like looking at the data and the numbers, right? I'm a numbers guy. You're essentially getting the ticket for free because we're trading, you're getting the ticket and you're getting the hour. So I wanted to make it as, as easy of a decision for you to make because you're going to get all the benefit of networking, of being at the event, of getting all the education, but then I want to just go the extra step and just help you any way I can to help tailor this and to really help your business. So I'm looking forward to it.
Bryan, thank you so much. That is such a generous offer, guys. We thank you guys. We know that you have taken some time out of your day. If you're in Los Angeles like I am today, it is beautiful, and I'm ready to be outside.
It's pretty good in Raleigh, so it's not too bad.
There you go. And so thank you guys for taking 20, 30 minutes. If you come on the replay, let us know you're on the replay. Catch what Bryan has offered to you guys. Like I say, this is going to be an incredible event, April the 4th through the 6th in Houston, coming around the corner. Join through this link that you see underneath us, ecomunderground.com/joy. Get the $500 1-hour consulting coaching call from Bryan. Oh my goodness, unbelievable value. We hope to see you guys in Houston. Bryan, thanks again for your time. Thank you, viewers, again, and we hope to see you guys in Houston. Awesome. All right, take care. See you later.